Okay. Here comes a truth bomb for today. I was actually in the middle of doing a completely different read. And my eyes just happened to be, as I was flipping, I was scanning through a lot of what's in here. And turns out there's an entire section on remote viewing. And I already did a remote viewing video, but I just did a video on premonition that I will upload probably. Part of premonition is being able to pull out that tiny little piece of information that you may have missed before, or that you would have otherwise just overlooked completely. I had one of those moments just a moment ago with a specific all right. We'll come back to that because that was retrocognition right there. But what I wanted to address, I'm having issues finding it, probably because this is pretty uncomfortable actually for me. There it is. That's what I'm saying. It's kind of uncomfortable. So on page 610 of Teresa Chung's Encyclopedia of Psychic Worlds, it says J.B. Rhine. J.B. Rhine. Lived from 1895 through 1980. Considered by many to be the father of parapsychology, the scientific study of psi and paranormal abilities such as clairvoyance and telepathy. Rhine was co-founder of the revolutionary parapsychology laboratory, the lab, at Duke University in Durham, North Carolina. I don't know why I'm just hearing, look at that girl with them Daisy Dukes on. Like, maybe it's just me personally, but I have all these, like, very poignant memories from, like, that kind of area of my brain, right? Or my life, I suppose. Obviously this isn't my life, but I'm just trying to say the memories, if I was to look at my Rorschach blot right about now, that would be it. So it says Rhine was born on 29th of September at 1895 in a log house in the Pennsylvania mountains. In 1920, he married Louisa Ella Wexler. I don't know how to say that last name. Sorry if I butchered it. And in 1925, he received his PhD in botany from the University of Chicago. So DC. But Rhine did not find botany fulfilling, and more his interest turned towards the paranormal. He joined the American Society for Psychical Research and began to work for the Society's journal. In 1926, Rhine moved to Boston, where he investigated spiritualist mediumship with William McDougall and Walter Franklin Prince, two prominent figures in psychical research. Initial investigation proved disappointing when a sitting with Mina Crandon turned out to be a fraud. But later sittings with Minnie Me-Serve Soul proved to be more encouraging. When it came to interpreting the soul sitting, there was disagreement as to whether the seance communications were genuine messages from the dead or whether they could be explained on the basis of the medium's extrasensory perception, E.S.P. Rhine favored the latter interpretation. So I guess he believed in E.S.P. In the fall of 1927, Rhine went to Duke University to assist McDougall in his data analysis. Encouraged by McDougall, he set up a program of statistical validation of E.S.P., with emphasis initially on clairvoyance and telepathy, using Zener cards. as tests. I don't know what Zener cards are. We're about to go for a little peruse. Side caveats. Give me a moment. I'm just hearing, give me one moment in time. I don't know why, but it just came through, okay? There you go. Zener cards. Card set designed by parapsychologist J.B. Rhine. I believe these might actually be the... I know that in the traditional Edward Rider-Waite Tarot deck, that the JB, the letters J and B, are written on the High Priestess card. On the white and black columns, J and B. And Carl Zener for use in card guessing tests for E.S.P abilities. A set of Zener cards consists of 25 cards in total. 25. So it's kind of like an advent calendar in a weird, you know, like mystical way. Anyway, comprised of 5 each of a circle, a square, Greek cross, 5-pointed star, and 3 wavy lines, also commonly referred to as E.S.P cards. Okay, anyway. The E.S.P experiments that followed would make the parapsychology laboratory at Duke University world famous. Even though Rhine believed that E.S.P played a key part in mediumistic communications, he never lost interest in the question of survival after death. He did, however, place an emphasis on his conviction that until the limits of E.S.P were established, the question of survival after death could not be investigated scientifically. It's very interesting. Anybody else who's interested in this, I did a reading relatively recently on proof of heaven. It's very fascinating little read. So he did, however, I already read that. The parapsychology unit continued to operate at Duke University until Rhine retired in 1965 and moved it off campus to the new foundation for research on the nature of men, later the Rhine Research Center, where it is still in existence. Still there. Still there. Rhine died on the 20th of February, 1980. His best-selling books included New Frontiers of the Mind, The Reach of the Mind, and The New World of the Mind. So there we have it. I am going to post this publicly because I think it's very interesting that there are, and I'm going to add this part for myself and for anybody else who goes through pretty regular, I don't know how to explain it, questioning from either other people or yourself regarding your belief systems, your right to explore who you are, your abilities. You might have to do it alone. You might have to go at it alone. Who cares? What ends up happening when you go at it alone, I'm just going to tell you, because I think some people think this belief system should be a hole in the wall. A hole in the wall joint that has really good food. You just pop in and pop out. Understand who you are so that you know your worth. All the treasures, all the little tidbits and the bobbins, the ins, the odds, the evens, the outs, the ups, the downs, all of that exists within yourself is what makes you who you are. So when other people come along and try to, I do want to say upstage your auric presence, your ability to manifest, your ability to maintain self-confidence, cut them off. Do it swiftly. Don't even think about it. And it's not because you're trying to be harmful. It is 100% out of love. If you don't cut them off, then they will cut this, the truth of the love that already existed inside of you. They will cut that. They will cut it off of you into pieces and sell it. They will take your ability to love, which is the most valuable as well as an endless like supply. Once you've tapped into your alchemical highest form of being, that level, those tiers of understanding, of submission to self, of surrender to self, and being willing to have the conversation with your etheric body. Yeah, that's way more of a leap than a lot of people can make. It's not Disney. This is not Disney content. It's not fun, easy, lighthearted, no problem kind of information. It's 11:11 when I said that. This is quite dense, is what I want to say. They'll come into your world, and I'm just seeing a lot of fern gully. Just everything up in smoke, you know, everything up in flames. And it doesn't mean that smoke and flames are not needed for a pine cone to be born. However, it does mean, you know, in appropriate situations, that's applicable. Other people, you're simply going to blister their skin. Literally. It's like, yeah, there's no coming back from some things. Like it's a belief system. It's a understanding that if you can't be with your tribe, if your own tribe will not let you express or understand or explore whatever it is that you want to explore, understand, or be whoever that is, right? Those people have a lack of understanding about the knowledge that lies within themselves. I just want to say, this is where the cat lies down. Some people, their knowledge is all in their head. Other people, the only thing that they believe in is what they see with their own two eyes. So it's okay. There's nothing wrong with only believing what you see with your own two eyes. Just make sure that you know, even if what you've seen with your own two eyes seems to be the most mystical, unforeseen phenomenon that you've ever wished, fathomed, dreamed, not even in your wildest imagination. Okay? You should believe in yourself. You should believe in that revision of the original vision, if that makes sense. Yeah, you don't have to keep on these childish, that's what I'm saying, this is quite heavy. This is the fern gully of your childhood. It's realizing that the confines of your own mind can be cut away. It's the peeling of an onion so that you can heal yourself. You know, I don't know why I'm getting snake bitten energy right now. If a snake bites you, you've got these 2 puncture holes on your arm, right? And there's always these movies where people just suck it right out. Probably if you have a knife, you should cut it open to make sure you get to the bottom of the wound, you know, and then suck it out. And you're gonna be sucking on blood, on poison. You're gonna be in pain. It's not a light subject matter. This is like the blistering of I'm just seeing like the blistering of skin here is what causes the evolution into this. I don't know why that's somehow relevant to that. I guess it's because people didn't believe him. People were saying, I don't believe you about what's happening with your belief system, whatever. That's something that a lot of people go through. It's not unique to this one J.B. Rhine. It's not unique to any specific individual. Trust me, some of us have really been through it. The rain outside, I'm hearing purple rain, but I'm also seeing acid rain. Like, you know how after they found all those frogs with like extra legs and stuff after Chernobyl, there was like acid rain coming down, and people were scared to get caught in the rain because they didn't want to get radiation poisoning. This is the aftermath. This is what the family of toads, this is what they turned into because of not having cut off quickly enough. This idea of following in other people's footprints. That's what I'm seeing here. Walking off. Sometimes if you don't get off the beaten path, you will be found out. And that's what this J.B. Rhine situation is all about. It's all about cutting that off so that there can be, I don't know why I'm seeing this as like this is disgusting. This is kind of a disgusting read, I'm not gonna lie. There's something about frog legs, eating frog legs, and not really even knowing what it is that you're consuming. It just tastes like chicken. So when people are like, oh, I served you chicken, or I gave you the chicken, or I put the chicken on the table, or whatever, you should never underestimate the fact that you actually do know what frog tastes like. That frog card came out in the reverse because I'm telling you now that if you can cleanse your energy of that deception that goes alongside and hand in hand with, this is the tuna of the sea. This is the chicken of the sea. This is tastes like chicken. Like, what? You cannot accept that as a generally applicable answer to everything. That is not a gift. You've got to use your brain, think intuitively, understand from a heart space level that some things cannot be, you might not be able to exactly put your finger on it, but that there's not chicken. Respectfully. I don't know if somebody is like not like a formidable, I heard myself say chicken of the sea and then the anchor came out. There's something about like, you know, amphibious life, being able to live on land and in water. So like that's the thing about chicken, is that it's a land dweller. Imagine deceiving yourself so badly that you did not take to the oceans, or you didn't take to the seas, or you didn't want to try the high seas because you're pretty sure that chicken is the only kind of food that you'll ever be able to eat. Someone told you that. Someone said you're allergic to all seafood. So you just never tried it. You just never attempted it. It's kind of the same as a belief system that you've never tried. Why cut it off before? You know what I'm saying? Like, when something is chopped up, sauteed, tossed with onions, and, you know, put in the pan to fry, it's probably going to taste similar when all the same seasoning is used on the same rest of the dish, on rice. So whether it's salmon or turkey or, I don't know, bison or buffalo, like, it doesn't really matter what steakout you went on. The meat is going to taste the same when you season it the same. So when you're seeing and doing the same things over and over again, it prevents you from being able to go off on your own and find that space to meditate. Especially if you allow people to cut off your ability to self-reflect because they ran out of love. There is no running out of love. That is impossible. You cannot get rid of it. That's the reason why it's an unseen force that's just as strong, if not stronger than gravity. It's unexplainable. It is just as formidable as terror, yet we'll go to war against terror, but not for love. You know that there's some golfing gods in there somewhere. Anyway, I'm done. That's it for today. I just wanted to take a moment to actually put some credence onto the stories that we tell ourselves, the stories that are actually true, the ones that end up being the Truman Show when we walk outside, the truth that is kind of jelly rolled into this entire Tootsie Roll package. It's a whole mixed bag of candy, and some of it's going to apply to you, some of it's not. It's just the way it is. C'est la vie. So is life, right? Toodles.